Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another video. It's Wednesday. My name is Marg. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. Creative Stamping with Marg. Today we have a new to me technique, and I'm hoping it will turn out as good as my original one. A card that I'd seen demonstrated by several different people, so I'm going to give that a try. I have lots of Stampin' Up! News to share with you, so let's go down to my desk. Okay, let's see if I can do this a little smoother. There we go. See my desktop there. All right, you can see on my desk I have the flyer for the paper pumpkin. This is the new paper pumpkin that you can subscribe to by June the 10th. It is called Full of Charm, and I had told you last week that it is to coordinate with the Floral Charm Suite. Now, nowhere can you find that yet because it's an online exclusive that's going to be released in July, which sounds kind of funny because this comes out in June. However, as a demonstrator, I am able to pre-order those online exclusives a month early, so I will be able to get a look at that Floral Charm Suite the beginning of June. So that leads me to the wonderful starter kit special we have right now for the month of May. In Canada, you can receive $220 worth of product and only pay $135. That's $85 extra in product. So to become a demonstrator or a discount shopper, you don't have to be a demonstrator. You can join and you will receive $220 worth of product, no shipping, no GST. You will get a free paper pumpkin kit. You will get any products you choose from the new annual catalog, which I should bring over. This catalog, anything you choose out of this catalog for $200. So if you have your eye on some bigger things, or your wish list is around $135, this is a great time to join, and you will get a discount on your subsequent orders following. So just something to think about. And the catalog, if you haven't seen it yet, it came out in May, beginning of May. A wonderful catalog. I have catalogs. If you don't have a demonstrator and you don't have a catalog yet, please get in touch with me. My email is mrgorn@shaw.ca. My website is margaretgorn.stampinup.net, so you can get a hold of me that either way. All right, let's put those to the side. I do have a card kit to go, which I shared with you last week. There's the PDF for it, and the cards look like this. They're all fun folds. So you would receive all 4 cards with envelopes. All the pieces would be cut for you. You would just have to use your own stamps. The only thing I cannot do for you is stamp anything. So if you're interested in this card kit, or you want a closer look at this card kit, let me know. You would receive this if you're in my area and you can pick up yourself. The card kit is $15. If I'm mailing it anywhere in Canada, it's an extra $5. It comes with the PDF instructions and a private video that I will send to you once you order, and it shows me making those 4 cards. So I will put that to the side and we'll get started on our card. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was, please check out the last chance list, because I still have a bucket full of things that are still on the last chance list and haven't disappeared yet, so there's still lots of things to choose from. All right, let's get started on our card. It's a Mosaic Tile card, and I'm sure you've seen them, but today we're going to try one with the new online exclusive Floral Impressions paper, and I have used that before a couple of weeks ago, I think. All right, our card base today is thick basic white, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and it will be just your regular card sitting like that. You will need cardstock layer. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is our new strawberry slush, which is a new in color. that just came out, and a piece of designer series paper. This is, like I said, from the Floral Impressions paper. Beautiful paper. Strawberry slush on the back. Cute pattern. And the floral on the front. This piece is 3 3/4 by 5, and we're going to cut this into squares. So that's going to be not the challenge. I'm not going to say challenge, but there is a little more work to this card. So the squares are 1 1/4 square, and you'll have 3 rows with 3 rows, 4 in each row, or 4 rows, 3 in each row, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm going on my cutter, I'm on my paper trimmer at 1 1/4, and I'm just going to cut straight down like that. Now, it is important that we keep these pieces in order because you want them to look like they're continuous. So that's something that you need to remember. Okay, 1 1/4 again. So there's my 3 rows. Then I'm going to turn this paper this way and cut them all again, 1 1/4. And I think I'm going to go, you can go to your other side. There is 1 1/4 that way, and that might be easier. And I'm cutting 1 strip at a time. I've seen them where they line them all up and cut them, and that's not very accurate for me. So I'm going to cut them like this. So what I'm doing is I'm going to place them this way so that I know that I've got them in the right order. So you see they're going like this. This reminds me of quilting, where you get a perfectly good piece of fabric and you cut it up into pieces and then you reassemble it. And I often laughed at people saying, why would you do that to a perfectly good piece of fabric? Cut it all up and then reassemble it. But that's what we do. So this makes me think of that. All right, so making sure that I've got them, I'm keeping them in the right order. And then I think the biggest trick with this, and I will show you my original card that I made, is getting them straight when you're gluing them back together onto your cardstock layer. Okay, so far so good. I haven't goofed up yet. If you haven't seen this Floral Impressions paper, it is gorgeous. And I did use it 2 weeks ago in my, where I angle cut my designer series paper. It was a different piece that I used, but okay. Get yourself goofed up here, Marg. There we go. So you're putting it back together just like a puzzle. So that's all the cutting we need to do. I'll put my trimmer to the side. Then we're going to put it onto here. Now, like I said, the trick is that you are going to want to have this very straight. One thing you can do is lay it out on here and see what kind of borders you're going to have. So what I did with my first card was I did not do this. And so therefore I didn't have it very even. So technically you should have an 1/8 of an inch between them all. This doesn't have to be perfectly laid out, but something like that. And then I'm just going to go up one side, and that will show you the layout the other way. So you can see you're only going to have an 1/8 of an inch between and to the side. So it is fairly tight. My thought is that you do it like this. Put one row on and then up the one side and then finish it up. But you can see that I need to maybe move this down a little bit. It is a bit tricky, and that I think that's the hardest part of this card, is getting these on here straight. But this looks perfect to me. So about it's not even an 1/8 of an inch, I think a 1/16 of an inch around. Okay, so I'm going to put these back that way, and I'm going to glue this first piece down. And I'm leaving the other pieces on there so that I can see them. Sorry, I haven't done any card making today, so my glue is not flowing. So I've got my pin here. Always leave a pin in the side of my glue bottle to get it started. Just like that. There we go. Come on, glue. Okay, and I'm going to glue this one down. And like I said, it has to be just that little edge. Okay, that one looks good. I'm going to just do this one row. Go up with this one row. Okay, I am using my Tombow liquid glue. That gives me a little bit of play, room to wiggle. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now I'm getting too much space in between. I've got to be careful. Okay. All right, so the other cards I've seen done, they've cut their, some of the people have cut their pieces rectangulars, strips, or some squares, some rectangles. That I found that very confusing, so I just sticking with these squares, and it seemed to work for me. So all right, let's get these on here. Now for this one, what I think I'm going to do is take this quickly and stick it here and see how I'm doing for the spacing. Thinking I need to be down a bit more. Like that, and like that. This is a very effective card, especially for busy paper like this. I find this paper, when it's so busy, I find it hard to use it because it's it just is a lot on a card front. So this is a really good way. Now you can see I'm losing my narrow border here, so I need to watch what I'm doing. Okay, so you're technically just building it as you go along here, and I think we'll be fine. The other thing I've seen people do is just put a little bit of glue runner, just one little tick of glue runner on the back, and sit them all down, and then you can adjust them. But you do have to watch, because they do tend to move too when I'm using the liquid glue, and I think that's what happened to my original card. Like I said, it's not perfect, but I was happy enough with it, I think. I had also, I didn't say that at the beginning, contemplated putting this paper onto green instead of the strawberry slush. I should have shown you that. And it looked quite nice on here, but I opted for the strawberry slush. I think it makes it a brighter card. The green kind of is darker, but lots of choices. There's Pretty in Pink in this one. There's Strawberry Slush, Garden Green, Fresh Freesia. This paper has a lot of pretty colors in it. Okay. I think we're doing okay. Do worry about this because so many rows and trying to make them look straight. And it is a bit tedious, I guess, but it doesn't take too long to get them together. I'm thinking this one is a little too high, but I'm going to go with it. All right, 2 more pieces. And then that'll be our card front. If you're going to add ribbon to this, you would do this before you glue this piece down. Sorry, I've got this. Oh dear, what have I done here? Have I mixed these up? Nope. I was going to say, oh dear, but it looks okay. I think I'm all right. Okay, last piece. All right. So like I said, it goes together like a quilt, where it looks funny when it's all cut up. Okay, move that out of the way. There we go. So what do you think of that? So to me, it just breaks up that really busy pattern and makes it quite interesting. So I like the effect of this. And then onto a white card, I like the look of that. All right, so that's basically the technique. It could be done, you know, smaller pieces. You just have to figure out what size your squares need to be to go onto your cardstock layer. All right, so there. And from the suite, Impressions of Bloom, like I said, it is an online exclusive. Comes like, that's the stamp set. These are the dies. And like I said, you saw me use these a different day. I used the floral dies. So we are using the leaf die out of here. So I've cut it out of Garden Green. That's that one there. And then there's these little tiny flowers. And I cut them out of Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink. So I've got a variety of those that I thought I could put on. They're very tiny, but again, you don't want too much, I don't think, because it is busy. I did bring in the online Petal Pink and White diagonal trim combo pack, and this is the white ribbon. Sorry, 1/4 inch. So I thought I might use some ribbon. I didn't think I wanted to put it across, but I'll show you what I'm thinking. And my label for the front, I used the Stylish Shapes. I used this banner, and I stamped the word thanks from our Impressions of Bloom right there on it, and I just trimmed off one end. And then I cut another one in Strawberry Slush, and I made it just a little bit longer and cut the end off. And my thought is that I would put them together something like that, angle them, and put the leaf and the flowers behind. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use some of this ribbon behind. I also have a 1/2 inch strip of the paper cut off the bottom of the sheet of paper, and I'm going to use that in the inside. So let's see. I think I will. This could go up on dimensionals, up onto here. That might be nice. I don't do that very often. I'll try that. Haven't done that in a long time, so let's try that. So quite a few dimensionals to hold it up. So on the corners and somewhere in the middle so that it doesn't sag. Get your backs off of there. Like that. Just take our backings off. We just have had a long weekend in Canada. I don't know if you're all watching from Canada or not, but we had the Victoria Day weekend, so it's kind of nice to have an extra day on the weekend. Got some yard work done. Went to visit a friend. So there, so that, I don't know if you can see, but that is nice that it's standing up. All right, like I said, I'm going to glue my label at an angle, I think. So I'm just going to put some glue on here and stick my greetings, my greeting to that. And what I thought I might do is take the ribbon and have it looped behind here. I had it sort of in my mind where I was going to make it like a bow. Just a minute. And then have it this way. If you flip this ribbon over, it's not as pretty as on the back side, so I'm trying to flip it so that I can see this side of it. Just don't know if that's going to do it for me or not. Let's see. Yeah, I can always wiggle it. So I think what I'll do is take my Stampin' Seal and put some Stampin' Seal across the back of it, and I can play with my ribbon that way. And you can always peel it off if you don't like it. So let's try it again. There. And I kind of want to have it looped like that. And then there and there. Like I say, you can manipulate your ribbon any way you like. And I will cut it off like that. That out of the way. Then I thought I could put it on there like, see, I don't like that. That's too straight for me. Except I wanted to put, that's too straight. So the beauty of this is you can just peel your ribbon off of here and alter it. So that's what I'm going to do. So if this is going, sorry, I'm off camera here. This is going here. I want it to be more of an angle. So let's adjust that at more of an angle. And maybe what I need to do is make this a bit smaller, the loop. See if that is better. And you know, sometimes these ideas don't work out and I abandon them. But yeah, again, I think that's too straight up and down. I don't know that I like that. Not sure I like that. So let's just try something different. How about having the ribbon coming out of here, just out of the end, like a loop, and then have the ribbon coming out like that. How about that? Don't know if I like that either. That's funny, isn't it? Here I had that, thinking I had this all figured out, but sometimes maybe I just want a single loop and have it like that. Yeah, I think maybe that's what I'm going to do. So I will just cut my ribbon off and just have a single loop on it like that. That looks okay. So I'm going to put dimensionals on this. Just like that. And I'm thinking I won't peel the dimensionals off yet so that it doesn't stick. I'm thinking I would put it like that. And I'm going to have this just behind here like this. And I thought I'd just place a bunch of the little flowers on the green. So maybe I will build that this way. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put the flowers onto the greenery here. So I'm just putting some dots of glue on top of the green, and I've got 6 flowers here. I may just do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. All right. I think I'll do the lighter pink at the top. And you can, oopsie, stagger them a little bit. There. And this one. And this one. that. There we go. So I'm just putting them on there like that. Let that dry for a second. I'm not going to use this last one. And I think I will take the backings off of my greeting like that. And I'm just going to place this so that I think I know where I want it. And now I'm thinking I might do something a little different. I might stick this on top of here like that. And I think I want my words straight instead of like this. So I will put my words down like this, just gently. I won't press them down. And I think I'm going to put this just on, that's probably not going to work, is it? No. Abort that idea and put it back over here the way I had it originally, like that. And I was going to tuck this in there. Maybe I should tuck it behind the ribbon so you can see the ribbon a bit better. I like that, I think, with the ribbon kind of sticking out there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the very bottom of this leaf and tuck it behind. And then I may just have a little, you have to be careful, this glue does go right through because these leaves have, the dye actually cuts right through. So you do have to watch that. The glue might seep through, but I think we're good. And if you think you haven't got it underneath, I often take my take your pick tool and go under here and tuck this down. There. All right, so, whoopsie, that's the outside of our card, and we'll think about embellishments in a minute. The inside, because it's thick basic white, I am not putting an extra layer here, and I thought I might cut two of these, one on the top and one on the bottom. So I am going to just leave my card open like that and line my piece up along the bottom, and then I know where it's going to end and where it begins. And put my glue on here, just like that. And then I'll trim it off, and I'll put some on the top. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white showing. This out of the way. I think this end needs to be up a little bit. That. And then turn it over and I just trim it off. Okay, and then I thought I would do the same at the top. It just gives a nice border on it. So I'm going to do the same thing, and it doesn't matter which piece. Oh, no, it has to be this piece, sorry. Put this here. It has to be this piece right here. So I'm going to go like that. This way, when I measure it up against the card, I don't get a bunch of glue on the other piece that I'm not using, and then I can still use that for something else. Again, leaving a white border at the top, just like that. Turn it over and trim it off. And then I have another 1/2 inch strip that I can use for something else. All right. Now I see I've got this little flower here. I could have cut a few more of those flowers and put them in the inside, but I'm not going to do that today. So there's our mosaic tile technique, and I will share with you the sample card that I made. And I was using one of the paper pumpkins for that. But before we go ahead and do that, I did pull some embellishments, the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems. They are on the last chance list. I thought the garden green might give this a little bit of pizzazz. So we will take a few of these. They come in 2 sizes, so there's a large and a small. And I just thought maybe I would put them kind of in the white spaces so that I could see them. There. And of course, they tend to not show up as well until the recipient gets the card and holds it up close. You can see them top and bottom there. Anyway, that's our card for today, the Mosaic Tile technique. So I will show you the one I made as my sample card. And don't look too closely because it's not perfect, but I did that one on a black cardstock and I heat embossed in white. This is all retired. This is the ginkgo branches die cut in gold, and I put a few retired gold pearls on it. And then the inside, I just did this, some of the leftover paper. So that's my other one, and I learned a little bit about it because I can see that the spacing isn't as great as, you have to be very careful with your spacing, but I think it turns out great, and I hope you give it a try. It is a little more tedious than some of the other cards that I've made, but I think it's worth the end result. So I hope everybody has a great week.